Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 18 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time, we found out the truth about how Asogi really died, and we found that the snake really belonged to Stroganov, and then we basically are discussing what really went down in the case, and just that the ship made an emergency stop, everyone got amnesia, and basically, we're having that fun. Sorry. Drinking my Akai Mixed Berry V8. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? I do. No, really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with the addition of by the addition of a sulfuric designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug. Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so that no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruto, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea! Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a sulfuric drug would certainly be impossible, unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes! Well, seaman? I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled off to the coals for aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I will do everything. I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help. Everyone together. She threw away everything. Her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. Why was I not told of this? I would have gone some autographs or stolen some socks or something. You're right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. We could not make all drug. How do you say dissolve? Talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrades on shore with small fishing boats, while all the passengers on the SS Boya slept soundly. Thanks to that almost magical effect of the slumber-inducing potion that evening meals had contained. So if that's what happened, the only person awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make any sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case. And there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite, and accordingly, all the passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes! The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyways. And so none of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door of the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. You have talked long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who helped desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But... I don't know any of this. I am just a little girl. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories we don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruto. Oh, yeah? What was that? Yeah? Really? What was it? Do you hear it? The accusatory cry of guilt on the wind. What accusatory? Accusatory! What the hell, CzarThwomp? Why can't you pronounce anything anymore, CzarThwomp? What the heck? What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of the involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. That in about 20 kilos of opium, but that's a different story. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular. For to expose the truth. Good thing I ended the episode off when I did last time. So, Mr. Naruto, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of these two pervasiators. Pervasiators, what the heck? Curse you, Sholmes, and your multi-syllabic words. Observation? If you remember, Mr. Naruto, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Hosogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened. Precisely. You are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. So if we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Okay. Chunky arms! Chunky arms are present. Sailor's hat. Okay, I'm just trying to look. Okay, I am not really sure what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm just trying to search around. Ah, there we are. Ink stain. I want to just do chunky arms first, though.
Yes!
Chunky arms! Seaman Stroganoff, those enormous arms of yours are thick with hair. And I have no doubt in that your struggle with the victim last night, handfuls of it would have come out. So, when I go now and search the floor in the victim's cabin, you'll have nowhere to run. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruto? Just follow the natural progression of the deduction. Sometimes the truth hurts. Where the truth is, you do not have a time for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. That's worth it. Definitely worth it. How exactly are we supposed to show that someone else was there when Kazuma died?
I can think of two possible ways. Either we find a trace of something that the person that in question left behind the scene, or that if it's not possible,
a trace of something that the person took away from the scene, be that accidentally or deliberately. A trace of something somebody took away. If you observe closely enough, I believe you will find examples of both. Get a long, hard, and uncompromising stare from all sides. That's my advice. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the ink stain.
Yes!
I knew that was the answer, but I just wanted to do chunky arms, because chunky arms are the answer to all of life's problems. Seaman Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes. I don't know where that dirt came from.
So nothing in particular comes to mind about that stain.
What are you trying to say?
It would appear the significance of this stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain.
It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform.
And I think what made it clear...
Indeed it is.
So, Mr. Naruto, present the evidence that proves it.
My pleasure. Alright then, the evidence that proves that what the stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform really is? Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's... Yeah, if this was our only crime scene photo.
Yes!
There we go. Yes, it's this photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink?
A rather unusual color of ink, purple.
Ah!
Ah, the penny drops. At last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink.
And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of the exact same color.
If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moment immediately after the ink was spilled.
Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed the button to make Boria do emergency stop, and both cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel.
Beef, please.
Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like shit.
Beef, please, you must help me.
I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. What happened here?
Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend.
Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Sogi's cabin. Then he tripped over and broke his neck when he fell to the floor. Yes, that is right.
So after the incident, when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers. Only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor.
She said that she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel. The door was not locked, so she opened to look, and you already know what happened after.
There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind.
What?
When you went to Mr. Sogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why?
Yeah, I already told you! When Nina opened door to student's cabin and looked...
I was asking Miss Pavlova.
Well, Miss Pavlova?
Da. Oh! Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you.
So is that finally it now? How we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Ah! Something very nearly slipped my mind! Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph! Yes, I took it myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there's one particular area in this photograph that seems to be somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? What are your thoughts? Sorry. I was in an accent. I was locked into an accent. I was locked into the Stroganoff voice. What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruto? Oh, well, if Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck, which part of this photograph print seems unnatural? Okay. Okay. This is actually what I'm kind of struggling with. Okay, let me just see the history. Let me see the history. Okay. I don't know, the victim's head.
Yes.
It must be here! Surely! Allow me to offer you a piece of advice regarding the pursuit of detection, my dear fellow. When noticing a critical point, it can be helpful to keep your eyes open. They were open. And it can be equally helpful to use them. Sorry, I'll try that.
I think it's plain what Mr. Sholmes meant by unnatural, isn't it? The words written in a foreign language underneath his fingertips, surely.
That particularly cross detail was orchestrated by the culprit. I mean to identify another point. Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. Would you land as the victim has? What of your hands? You look like the sort of fellow who stumbles with some regularity. This should be an easy task. Why do I... If Kazuma tripped and fell by some terrible stroke of bad luck and broke his neck, which part of his photograph seems unnatural? I'm guessing the hand?
Yes.
The word in Russian clearly was... Okay. So if you're looking for something unnatural, that's an obvious point. I was trying to do the finger! Very true, it's certainly particular, but it's not what I meant by unnatural, I'm afraid. That particularly cross detail was orchestrated by the culprit. I meant to identify another point.
Oh, I see.
Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. Come on, can I skip this text? In my opinion, if you land as the victim appears to have done here, yes. I'm not reading this. Okay. I'm letting it go auto. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then his fist just doesn't seem quite right. What, you don't fall with your fists? Because I fall with my fists sometimes. Because I naturally walk with my fists closed. Is that just an unnatural thing? Because I sometimes do use my fists when I fall. The exact thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Unless you're CzarThwomp, in which case you go with your fists. Hey, I fall with class. I fall with bravery and courage. I use my fists when I fall.
Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist.
Though his hand also kind of looked a bit flat to me, like it basically like it was semi-arched. Because sometimes when I'm lying down, my hands arch a little.
Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something.
What do you mean?
Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago.
You did?
And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Mr. Shams, show us, please! Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? This is what I found. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle. Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us?
It tells us nothing. I'm not sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before.
Observation, Mr. Naruto. This is the key.
What?
The truth is now tantalizingly close.
How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist?
This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe! Find the answer with your own eyes.
Oh, come on.
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, on your ear there. I see you have a crescent moon as well.
Ah!
What? And on your other ear. There seems to be a crescent moon missing. The little ink holding it on must have broken, I suppose.
Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruto?
Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Sogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear, perhaps the moment before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Sogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Sogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments?
Oh no! Angel!
No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova. Tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma?
Ah! Yeah! When I think about everything that happened yesterday...
Wait, who's talking? I don't know. Oh yeah, okay, it's her.
Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto the fuel ship. And then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Tarka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. I tried doing a 10 of Kuntuna to the air vent, but nothing worked. Darko would not come back.
And then Asogi is writing in his diary. Heard 132, heard whistling sound. 135, speckled band. 137, can of tuna. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Inspector, I am not going to do that survey for Lake Carnival. I told you already, the service was was top tier. My only complaint was the water refill was a bit on the slow side. I am not going to give you any more feedback because there is no feedback. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine.
The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the man's cabin.
Just a moment. Sorry, but...
Oh, yes?
I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina.
Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man, when I land in the faraway east, know a Russian ballerina?
And then Hosonaga.
I am about to end your whole career.
Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But, what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment.
I can't fool him.
Yes, he can't fool his higher education.
I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no choice.
I see. So you've run away.
Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone.
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here.
He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait, I shouted, and then... Darka jumped into my arms and down at the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me... I pushed him and watched the life drain from his eyes. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me.
And that's when you went to fetch help from Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out and thud on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at the cabin door, shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me throw Botti into ocean. We make sure he never is found. Help me, Beef. If they find out, I will be pleased. I have nowhere to go." So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it, so that no one would suspect a passenger in the cabin next door. Yes. I went into the cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway in the wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, that's when he found me.
So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the stowaway.
I closed the wardrobe door and put back strange paper signs. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susawa-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged the young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote wardrobe so that the person who found him would look inside the wardrobe to find Stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass bell?
It was by my feet, so I picked it up.
I see.
But it was dark in cabin. I didn't notice the other half.
Then Angel went back to her cabin, and I finished the job by pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes. Accordingly, the SS Boya did indeed come to an emergency halt a little after 2 a.m.
thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery.
Yeah, I'll finish up this episode and then I'll finish up this chapter and then basically we'll end the episode off. We're almost done, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. There's one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova.
What?
Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. And it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right?
Yes.
But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem?
It was what he said first that made me scared.
What he said first? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? I'm not filling out the survey for Le Carnival. Like I told you, the only flaw I found with the service was that the water refill time was a bit on the slow side. I have no other criticisms. Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine.
He said the inspector was his friend who was pestering him with surveys about Le Carnival. Ah, yes, meaning me. Who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard? I thought that the police knew about me. They would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, May I stop you for a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asogi really gonna pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I don't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done.
No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. I was not going to dance another round of Swan Lake. I couldn't do another round of Swan Lake. Have you ever done 400 rounds of Swan Lake?
Well, Mr. Naruto, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction?
Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed?
VA time. Ah, that's the stuff.
First, consider the victim's location in this cabin.
That's easy. I remember every detail of this room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still, that cabin has been my home for this entire voyage.
So this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-san.
Yes, that's exactly how it was.
Are you ready then, Mr. Naruto?
Yes, if there's one thing I've learned today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manners of truth. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it leads. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? The bed! He wanted to go to bed! Kazuma had placed a large book of law under his pillow. Kazuma wanted a nice nap. I believe he's going to consult that book in order to find a way to help you. Although I'm not quite sure how Japanese law would have been relevant. But still.
Mr. Naruto, the truth is absolute. You cannot see someone look one way but follow their gaze another.
I know it's the wardrobe. Ha, sorry, I had a feeling I was wrong.
From where I'm standing, it was quite wrong. You appear to be out by a fair margin. Actually no. You were out by a mile.
Sorry.
No one knows the workings of a man's mind better than his greatest friend, surely.
Yes, I knew him well, at the very least. I'm convinced of one thing. Kazuma wouldn't have just called a crewman or the captain in that situation.
According to Miss Pavlova, Kazuma's exact words were, "I could use another opinion here."
Whose opinion was he hoping for? I feel sure I ought to know. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? The ventilator! It's the wardrobe. Considering everything that happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Kazuma was going to bring the bell cord.
Yes, however,
What is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe!
the wardrobe.
And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly.
Ah! Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Sogi's exact words last night?
Give me a moment, I could use another opinion here.
Another opinion?
Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Sogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt.
Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Sogi was looking at. Things may have ended very differently if you had.
Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that.
I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. What have I done?
You took a life. You killed a man. And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Boria was finally laid to rest. 9th of January, 7:14 p.m. SS Boria, first class cabin, passageway. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now, then?
Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard.
What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Yes, CzarThwomp can't read.
Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out.
Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then?
No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life.
I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganov. I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost good friends. But then I thought to myself, I said, you know what, screw it. He has arms like little string bean. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste, but now, yeah, and then Ryuunosuke, but now I get his bed! Yay! And then just Ryuunosuke just swallows himself in the covers, and he just doesn't leave the bed. Well, do what you can do for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Duh.
Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan, even though no one was searching for you. I mean, frankly, I'm just amazed that no one was calling saying, "Oh, where's Ryuunosuke? Where's Ryuunosuke?" No one gives a crap about you, apparently.
Yes, I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different.
So, you should get back to your cabin now.
Yeah, and then they pack Ryuunosuke back in the traveling case. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even began. So, then, to think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing daily at how we tear up the streets of London. Kazuma getting into Kazuma bringing a sword to a knife fight. I can now picture it. Just Ryuunosuke and Kazuma, they're walking around Whitechapel. They get ambushed by some mugger with a knife. Alright, hand over all your valuables or else I'll cut ya. And then Kazuma, ha! You call that a knife? This is a knife! Kazuma then pulls out his katana. That seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Yeah, Susato in the corner. Susato-san?
Naruto-san, I didn't know you had returned.
Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack. You know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. Excuse me.
I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that.
Susato-san.
He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he had. By an adolescent girl and a cat. I thought I could never forget the person responsible, but now we know the truth, that it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruto-san. It's just too much.
Yes, I know.
I wish there was something I could say. Inspector!
Yeah, I guessed right.
My duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Britain. But I failed. Horribly. And now my pay's gonna get cut. So very, very badly. Oh god, I'm gonna be the first gumshoe. My life is gonna be on instant noodles now. Oh god, no. No, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not gonna end up like Gumshoe.
And then Hosonaga just tosses himself in the ocean. Okay.
And caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder.
Nobody blames you, Inspector. And knowing Hosonaga, he would do anything. Huh? Surprise, Mr. Naruto! What is the meaning of this?
Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles.
Without them, the balance is all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry?
So I decided to restore them for old time's sake, shall we say?
You're a stowaway after all. He thinks this is funny.
Mr. Sholmes! We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Not at all, not at all. And though this is a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port, in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened.
What? Wait a minute! It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway.
The terms of his study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant.
What was to be?
In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead.
Oh no! I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato-san. Okay. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely.
But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know no other lawyers.
Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid.
Oh, but
anyways, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer.
yes.
Mr. Sato,
Yes?
do you think perhaps I might be able to do it?
Don't be silly, Ryuunosuke. You can't do anything. For God's sake, you were in handcuffs this entire case. But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruto. Oh, unless.
Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but all hope is lost. But wait! You're from Yuma University! You have a high education! You can do anything! And then Hosonaga, he is from... Yeah, I can just imagine this. They bring Ryuunosuke, basically the Justice Minister of England. Oh, who is this? Who is this guy? He's not the guy we asked for. And then Hosonaga, steal your tongue. This is a student from Yuma University. He has more education and knowledge in his pinky finger than you have in your entire body.
I'm sorry, in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work.
But as I said, there's still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruto? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn why I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain.
Mr. Naruto, that's ridiculous.
Are you seriously suggesting anyone could learn all that in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate.
But why put yourself in such a difficult position?
For Kazuma. He said there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. Yes, exclamation mark. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyways, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susato?
I'm not going on your crazy train. I'm not going to be on this sinking ship that you call your freaking adventure. I think it's a wonderful idea. And by wonderful, I mean wonderfully horrible. You're gonna fail, Naruto. You're gonna fail. Just jump into the ocean now. Save us all some time and just jump.
Thank you.
So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious?
One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable.
No. It's madness.
Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree?
Fascinating.
Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination.
Speak for yourself.
Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character. No? And you witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes, from the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, an ability to bluff, courage.
Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice.
Inspector,
After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. Don't flatter yourself. I just know that if I go back without any sort of beneficial results, they're gonna cut my pay. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I'm gonna get my ass handed to me once again. I need to discuss what to do next, and I'd best make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruto?
yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer.
I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Naruto, I'd like you to take charge of this.
What? Me? Are you sure?
I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been in the Yosogi clan for generations.
Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it, always. So then, Miss Susato. It seems we'll be working together for some time, come yet.
It will be an honor, Mr. Naruto. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study.
Yes, that's exactly what I need.
But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you two.
Yeah, and then basically,
With that sword, don't allow your descendant to freaking put it in a closet behind a bunch of magic props.
and then Naruto, he's like, don't worry, Susato. It's not gonna happen. How would that even happen? How is that even possible? And then a century later, just that sword is behind about 40 million magic props of Trucies. And then Susato,
Damn it, Naruto!
and then basically Pearl,
Mr. Nick?
yeah. And then basically Maya,
Nick?
yeah, Maya?
The creepy woman's glaring at you again, Nick! She's glaring at you from the ghost woman's glaring at you again, Nick! She's trying to flip you again!
Maya, why do you keep bringing up the ghost lady? Goodness, what is it?
Please throw me to the ground. 3 times.
What?
I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior.
No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door was locked from the inside.
No! I won't let you make excuses for me! Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you, and not just once, but 5 times!
That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it?
Please, you must! Take hold of me and throw me! Do it! Don't even think about it!
No, I don't even know how! I've never thrown anyone in my life!
Very wise, Mr. Naruto. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes!
I observed you throw your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. Almost as impressive as my family's ancient technique of killing a man with a single swing of a bottle. We have mastered the grape juice method. When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling.
Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique.
Apparently it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer.
There he goes, dancing around again. Now I'm just imagining Kristoff and Klavier having some boxing skills. Just Kristoff knowing how to box a little. Kristoff trying to get into a fight with Zack. Now I'm just imagining an alternative reality where Kristoff, instead of sneaking up on Zack, tries to just get into a fisticuffs match with him right outside of the Borscht Bowl. You! Gramaye! Oh, old boy, what are you doing here? Oh crap, what are you doing here? You can't run this time, Gramaye. Fight me now. And then Kristoff and Zack are fighting in the bar, just punching each other, throwing. Just Kristoff punches Zack into Phoenix's piano, and then basically Kristoff, he takes the grape juice bottle, he's trying to smash Zack, he misses and hits the piano, and then proceeds to hit the piano about 5 more times. Old boy, you're not hit. What the hell, old boy? You're not hitting the piano. What the hell, old boy? I'm over here. I'm not aiming for you. Psh, psh, psh. I am making sure that that man is not butchering the piano anymore. I'm putting the piano out of its misery. Thanks, Kristoff.
I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam.
Naruto.
Oh, of course. Are you ready, Mr. Naruto?
Sorry?
Hiya!
As you can see, you throw from the
abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you term the Susato takedown, is it? Actually, no. That was a Susato squash.
And then she does it again. In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Karuma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. And with it, I have both the powers of anime and God on my side. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryuunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its stand compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain, and I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Oh, of course, I will. Whatever it is, I'll see through it to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what it was. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Okay, end. Oh, man, that went on longer than I thought it was. But I knew I had to carry it out. Yes, Crash Course candidate awarded. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll save the current progress. Okay, there we go. Save that there because I'm going to end things off. Okay, yeah, and we can still select episodes 4 and 5. We can skip all the way to episode 5. Okay, anyways, I think now would be a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer and hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. Well, now, I'll see you next time. Bye.